Okay, this is the organizational meeting, special organizational meeting of the Select Board. I'm the town administrator, Brian Savage. Is normally at the moment we do not have a chair of the Select Board, so I will be opening the meeting and handling the agenda till we get to item E, which is the reorganization of Select Board appointments. So I'm calling the meeting to order. I'd like to welcome the new Select Board member, Ron Underwood.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard. And so we will begin by pledging allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And we'll do agenda review. So start with Nicole.
Nothing to add.
All set.
All set?
Correspondence you're gonna mention, or I'll mention the MVR
Yeah,
request?
I've got that on the
Okay.
agenda. Yeah. Nick?
Yeah, one thing to task representatives, we need to add the library again.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And Ron, anything you'd like to?
Do we have any updates on the field day site that we can discuss?
Just very brief, you do, but it's.
I don't know about the rest of you, but I got a bunch of calls about that today.
About what? I didn't hear you.
The field day site?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You can put that under, well, we can put that under new business and just mention what,
Yeah. Yeah.
you wouldn't have been party to that email, but
Yeah.
you will be now, but,
Yeah.
so there is a minor update that can be
Yeah.
put out there.
Okay. I did Kathy?
Liquor control.
Liquor control, so we'll have to adjourn the regular meeting, a special meeting, go into liquor control, so we'll put that in between, just before any other business.
Thank you.
Okay. And
I do not have anything other than you have new updates for your binders at the bottom of your pile, but there's instructions on what to do with them.
Thank you. All right. Now, okay, so are there any public comments on anything that's not on the agenda? Okay, so,
I got, as a member of the public and also as a member of this board, I just want to put out a word for our deployed military personnel and members of the Vermont Air National Guard as they are over in harm's way right now. And also for any of Americans that are overseas and stranded or in harm's way. And then I just want to put a shout out to Steve Bourgeois for his service on the board.
Yes, and I'd like to add to that too. Steve, long-time community member, and has done a lot in Swanton, and you know, as a member of the select board on behalf of the town of Swanton, I'd like to thank him for his service. And my son-in-law and your son-in-law are over there too,
That's
so
right,
we have
yeah.
a very vested interest in what's going on.
yeah. Very much so. Okay, so, we'll proceed with the organization of the select board and appointments. And the first is I need a motion to nominate somebody to chair the select board for the year March 4th, 2026 to March 2nd, 2027.
I'll make a motion to elect Joel Clark as chair of the Swanton Select Board for the year of March 4th, 2026 to March 2nd, 2027.
Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second that.
Okay. Are there any other nominations? Hearing none. The motion to elect Joel Clark as chair of the Swanton Select Board for the year of March 4th, 2026 to March 2nd, 2027. There's no other nominations. I would call the vote. All in favor of that motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The ayes appear to have it. The ayes do have it. And the motion will carry. Congratulations, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, folks.
Job is yours, thank you.
We got plenty to do for 2026 through 2027. Appreciate your support. I am not gonna read the dates. They are March 4th, 2026 to March 2nd, 2027 for each of these appointments. If we see something different, we will call it out. Just in the interest of time. So I entertain a motion for a vice chair of the Swanton Select Board.
I move that we nominate Nick for vice chair.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. All right,
Thank you. Unexpected honor.
Next item is a motion to appoint Christina Candles as clerk for the Swanton Select Board.
I'll make that motion to appoint Christina Canders as clerk to the select board.
I'll second it.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion?
Love you.
Hearing none. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Entertain a motion that the Swanton Select Board adopt Robert's Rules of Order for the Rules of Procedure for the Swanton Select Board.
I move.
There a second?
I'll second.
Motion been made and second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Entertain a motion that the Swanton Select Board schedule its regular meetings on the first and third Tuesdays of each month at 6 p.m. And that the town administrator should set the meeting agenda and each select person may add to it at their discretion in accordance with the state law or in accordance with the state law. Entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. All right, the way we did this last year is we went through and put names to each one of these and just approved them instead of voting on each one of these. If folks are good with that, I'd like to continue that way.
You wanna add library?
Yes. So the first one's Highway Commissioner. I am interested in doing that if people are okay with that, but let's bring that one up. And anybody else?
I'm okay with it.
You got the relationships with the staff.
Police rep?
I can do that if nobody wants to.
Rec rep?
I would love to stay on.
All right.
But, I'm not to interrupt, but then you're gonna have 3 select board members at a meeting.
Oh, okay.
Well, anyway, you will, no matter what.
Are you staying on the rec board?
Undecided.
What, undecided?
We gotta discuss with Betsy at the next meeting.
So anytime you have meetings, I need to know at least 2 days before so I can warn it.
I only send you the agenda.
Right, but it'll have to be also an agenda for the select.
Yeah,
Correct.
If the select board's not conducting any business,
that's up for you to decide.
yeah, that's what I mean. We wouldn't be
Yeah.
conducting any business.
Any town
You still have
business.
the Three members of the board, majority of the board are present. Just gotta,
Okay.
It's not hard, I don't have to do anything, I just post it and say the minutes will be
Yeah,
tied to the rec.
similar to Swanton, I
Like
guess.
I do for SAT, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So Nick's, we'll keep his name. Economic Development Rep.
I'll stay on as that.
Thank you, Earl. Personnel,
I'm happy to continue with that.
legal, my name was on there last year. I'd just soon do that if everyone's okay with it. Animal control,
I'm happy to continue to do that too.
I can take it if Nicole doesn't want it.
Oh, Ron can have it.
You want to chase the puppies?
all right.
I did it
Ron,
for Sheldon for years.
oh,
And I'll do librarian.
okay.
You last year, you also did zoning.
Did zoning?
zoning, yeah.
I guess I don't remember that.
I'm happy to do that.
Okay. If everyone's good, I'll entertain a motion to approve the list as we just discussed of task representatives for the select board.
I'll make the motion to approve the list.
There's a second.
Second.
Motion been made and second. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Entertain a motion that the Swanton Select Board appoint Frank Shumway as a tree warden for the town of Swanton.
I'll make the motion.
Here, a second?
I'll second.
Did anybody notify these people?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. This one has blanks.
Yeah,
Oh, you've got the,
the present is Nicole Draper and Nick.
I've been attending meetings regularly, I can stay on.
I also can stay on. I very much enjoy it.
okay. Entertain a motion to appoint Nick and Nicole as the town of Swanton's representatives on the board of directors for the Northwest Regional Planning Commission.
I'll make the motion.
Need a second?
I'll second it.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Transportation, that was Earl.
Yeah.
Good with that, Earl?
Yep.
Excellent. Make a motion to appoint Earl as the town of Swanton's representative on the Transportation Advisory Committee of the Northwest Regional Planning Commission.
I'll make that motion to appoint Earl.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Alternate?
It was Joel. It was you.
It was me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, never got tasked at all. And I can certainly do that. Anyone else? Anything that you're interested in? Okay. Entertain a motion to appoint Joel Clark as the town of Swanton's alternate representative on the Transportation Advisory Committee of the Northwest Regional Planning Commission.
Second?
Did you have a first?
No,
All first?
waiting on it first. There we go. We got it
I'll
first.
move.
Oh, second.
All right. Any discussion? Here none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. What's the list you're looking at right there? Was it in our packet?
No, I ran this off today because we didn't know who was gonna be on board.
All right. Motion to appoint Carlo Michelli as the town of Swanton's representative on the Northwestern Solid Waste District. Entertain a motion.
I'll move.
Second.
I'll second.
Motion been made and second. Any discussion? Hear none, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Entertain a motion to appoint the following persons to serve on the town of Swanton's Recreation Commission. Betsy Fournier, Ron Underwood, Katie Underwood, Joseph Raleigh, John Nielsen, Jesse Leclerc, and Rob Sweet.
I'll make a motion to appoint them.
Here a second?
I'll second it. I just got a question because we do have one board member and a director here. Do these people attend on a regular basis?
Yes.
Okay. And we'll have to wait for your decision.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor state aye.
Aye.
I recuse
Opposed?
myself.
What's that?
I recuse myself from that one.
I should also abstain.
Aye, you and I.
I'm not,
All right, so we got 3 ayes. Next item of business, that was quick. Next item of business is the minutes. February, entertain a motion to approve the minutes of February 17th, 2026 regular select board meeting and February 23rd, 2026 select board and village board of trustees special joint budget information meeting.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and second to approve those 2 sets of minutes. Is there any further discussion?
I recuse myself because I wasn't part of the board then.
No further discussion. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Under old business, we talked about it a little bit at the last meeting. I wanted to just talk for a minute this meeting. And I think my recommendation is maybe we hold off. I know we said we were gonna get with the rec. And talk about site location for the building and one of the possibilities, not to get into a lot of that tonight, but what I wanted to show you is a building 80 by 125 on that 4th Street property. So the line for the parking area is a little hard to see, but you can tell which of the dark boxes is the parking area. And then a 80 by 125 building is that large black area without the color copier. Shows it extending outside of a building property line a little bit, but it is the LVRT, which is property that we own, so. I believe we own it, I'm not sure if it's leased, I don't think so, I don't think
We
that's.
own that.
Yeah, it's not banked like the other part is. So we own that, so we could always combine those two pieces of property if we decided to go that way. But the reason I'm bringing this up is we owe an answer back to the engineers for that report they did to finalize it and get it to the state for approval. The worst thing that would happen is if we decide to put a building there, we would have to amend what the work they've done, because instead of putting 18 inches of material on top of the existing soil, we'd have to remove the soil that's there and haul it away. But it's certainly a possibility, and again, I think we talked about meeting with the rec and discussing it. I could hold off sending anything back to the engineering firm for a couple more weeks. I'd like to meet with rec fairly soon if everyone's good with that.
They have a meeting scheduled coming up on the 10th,
So that's what, next Tuesday night?
next Tuesday night.
And we don't know yet though if they want to meet then, discuss the building location, or
I can ask and let you know.
be able to make
Whenever
it
you
on.
want to.
Say that again?
I said, I'm sure we're open to meeting whenever Joel's available.
I agree.
What about Earl? Next, the 10th.
You want the whole board there?
I think the whole board should be there. This is, but the whole board kind of said to go ahead with a building,
Yeah.
you know, as part of the process is making sure we're in agreement on the site, because if we're not, then we could,
Oh, yeah, I guess on the 10th, that's next.
Next
Next
Tuesday.
Tuesday at
You're gonna do
5:30.
it, will you do it there? Cause there's a planning commission meeting here at 6,
Oh,
public hearing.
well, it's scheduled to be there, yes.
What time?
5:30.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure I can make it, I don't know.
and you go to those.
I go to those,
Those anyway, so 5:30 on the 10th, I'm sure I could get there. So if you check with the board, then we can warn it.
Yeah, I'm not sure, Mr. Chair, if you were copied on that email. I received an email this morning from Eric at Atlas, wondering if we'd made a decision yet, so. Did you see that? You weren't copied.
No.
So we're having a meeting tonight, so I'll just tell them in the morning that you're gonna meet with the rec board, so it'll be a couple more weeks before we decide which route to go.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, and I think we'll be fine.
Okay.
He could send it to the state starts reviewing it, and then we could send a note saying we need to change what we're doing. Okay, that's all I had on that, unless anyone's got any more. Okay, under new business, A, announce election results.
Okay, in your packet, I included a rundown of the races and the numbers. We had, it's all pretty self-explanatory. The voter turnout was 18.6%. There were 908 ballots cast. We have 4,881 registered voters. So 18.6%, was about 16.5% last year. The races are self-explanatory. Again, congratulations to Ron.
Thank you.
And the articles all passed with healthy margins. Interesting of note that the margin of the police budget passed with a bigger margin than actually the police budget of the village.
I was surprised by that one.
Yeah. And but everything else did well, including the local option tax. I attempted to call the tax department to officially inform them this morning that the town had voted, but the tax department does not work on Wednesdays.
I was like, Ron didn't call him.
So I had emailed the commissioner of taxes today, and I'll follow it up with a phone call tomorrow, that we have officially adopted it. Please advise what you do the next step. So they've been put on notice that we've approved it, on what it's been approved on, and so we get the process started.
I did see on the news tonight, it said 20 towns had it on there.
And
Agendas, 12 passed.
12 pounds.
What was weird is, and I didn't catch the other, it said 12 passed, 6 voted down, and I don't know what the other two. But they specifically, what I heard was 12 passed, so could be a while before we get anywhere with this, but that's why working with Brian this morning, it's like, let's call down there, let's get on the, let them know we're anxious to get this moving, because if they got 12 and they're only gonna do 3 or 4 at a time, it could be a while.
Yeah. So.
Anything else on the,
No, it was pretty straightforward. It was a steady yesterday, it was steady. Not crushingly busy. So I'm a little disappointed in the turnout, but that's apathy of the voters.
yeah, I took a look at the 2024, 2023 numbers that Kathy done a while ago, and it's not too much of a difference.
And also, if you had not, the school district budget did not pass, nor did the parking lot repair at the high school, did not pass.
When they go for a revote, do we pay for that, or do they pay for the revote?
We pay, they reimburse.
Okay, because I remember
'Cause we'll
a few
pay-
years ago, it went 4 or 5 times.
Right, and I billed them for that, and they paid us for like people working at the polls, and depends on how they're gonna do their ballot, if they're gonna just do a yes or no, simple one, or if they're gonna use the machines again, they pay for the programming of the ballots. So
Okay.
it's basically just would be time and mailing out the postage.
I pay for that.
Okay. Anything else, folks?
Oh, I do. The revote is either gonna be between the last 2 weeks in April or the first 2 weeks in May. Will be the revote on the school. They haven't picked a date yet, but that's the time frame they're looking to do it.
Are they going to notify the village, or do we have to do that? Because we
They
need
gotta
to-
get a date first.
Yeah, when they get the date.
Yeah, we probably will. As soon as we got it, we'll call them, let them know.
Yeah.
We're gonna-
Anything else?
No, that's,
Yeah, I just want to say congratulations to all who got elected, re-elected. Thank you for stepping up and doing stuff for our community. Can't do it without people stepping up, so thank you all. The next item of business, items in progress under consideration for 2026. Now, I don't know quite,
there's no list, we just know it should be just a discussion, that's what it was last year.
Is it gonna be possible to get a closing on the property up there?
Well, I hope so. The last I had heard was that Mr. Rowell's attorney advised him they were set to close, everybody set to go. He says, I'll get back to you, and they haven't heard back.
One thing that in 2026 is Jerry Mill Lane. It seems like it kind of, I heard we're gonna get core samples and I haven't heard anything since. Is there any?
Have you heard anything?
no, I mean, that's up to the owner of the road to decide what they're gonna do, and he actually walked by Bowden the other day, yesterday, and didn't say anything. Yeah, they should come to us for location of the cores if they're gonna do them, but I'm in no hurry to take that over from a town perspective, but, anyway. Couple things, we've talked about is that town hall insulate
Yep.
boiler replacement possibly. It's hard to believe, I looked at that today when I went down there, that's only 105,000 BTUs.
Yeah.
That's not a very big boiler.
And the blow test was conducted yesterday. We don't have the results yet of that. We do know they were not able to do the basement. But I did get in contact with the person to test that, and he should be here maybe tomorrow.
Okay. The other board members, do they know or not?
No.
Alright. For public purposes, it's some asbestos down there.
Yeah.
So,
There's a what?
asbestos.
So that's
Looks
why I
like-
can do it.
Looks like some pipe insulation, and it looks like one 4x8 sheet of, asbestos board
Yeah.
essentially,
Yeah.
but.
More than likely it's old.
Oh, yeah, it's certainly, the insulation on that one pipe, I am pretty sure.
So
Very
the
unique.
guy that's coming in, is he just to verify it?
He is a licensed inspector. He also can do abatement and give us an estimate on abatement, or we talk to him, he'll do it to check it first, and then we'll see what he thinks, and we'll look for a quote as what he's looking at for cost. I used him to do it's David Shea from Fairfax. He bid on the demolition at 366 North River, but he did the asbestos inspection on that. And it was quick turnaround time, reasonable. So he also demoed the Hotel Riviera and took care of the asbestos in the village.
How much money do we have in our capital reserve fund?
For
Well, it's capital reserve
the
fund.
building, the
Yeah,
one we've been doing?
Yeah. Is this only our second year?
Yeah, I can tell you exactly. I don't wanna
Plus
pull
we
off the
could,
top of my head
We
today.
got that balance too on the special funds.
Yeah.
It's supposed to try and come tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Couple other things, Brooklyn Street culvert, we've talked about, should be able to get to it this year. Paint exterior and do repairs at the depot.
Yep.
We haven't heard from that grant, have we?
No,
Only the first one, right?
just the first
39.
49, we have heard for that, so, I've got some, additional paperwork that I have to submit to them, and, that should go out the next week or so.
Rec probably has a few different things, but one thing I talked to Nicole a little bit about today is carpet and flooring. The sign on the village green, I know Earl's working that piece, and I've been working it with him. 4th Street soil management. Library elevator repair, the plumbing might be done next week, right?
March 13th,
March 13th.
that's right.
But what we really need to look at is replacing that hydraulic line and doing the painting, so
Yeah.
we need to do up a request for proposals and get some info on that. Trees, there'll be a lot of tree removal on McQuam Shore now. Kevin and I drove that, Janes Road, Lake Road. I bet there was over 100 ash trees.
I'm gonna say there's 153 as of July, so you suspect that number's grown?
That was total. I'm talking now, just down in that area.
Just down in that
By-
area.
And I told Kevin, I said, Kevin, I want you to ride this road with me, not because I live on it. He goes, oh no, he said, this is the worst of our roads as far as the number of ash trees. And several of them are outside of our right of way, and we're gonna take the power out when they come down. And one thing, if they just knock a line down, but if they knock a pole or so, it's gonna take a while to get it fixed. It's bad. And some of the trees will last through the year, but we're gonna get at them here very shortly now that temperatures are warming up. But we got a pretty significant problem.
Are we hiring tree people or are we doing it ourselves?
Both, combination. Some of them are too big, some of them near the power lines and stuff. Yes, That's a combination. I only want them doing what they're comfortable with.
So what do we do with the trees after we take them down?
Try to give them away. Serious. I mean, there are so many trees coming down. The demand for wood is not super high. We stack them up at the town garage and
Well, I've been, I don't know if town even do this, but I've been selling trees for pulpwood. They're paying about $80 a cord. I don't know if that's something we're interested in too, selling it for pulpwood, make a little bit of money back. But
yeah. I'll talk
I
to
can reach
Kevin
out to
about
my
that.
guy and see what he's interested in.
So with the 25,000 approved in this budget, well, we got 84,695.
Okay.
And that includes the 2026 appropriation, 25,000.
Good. Nice to see
Thank
that.
you, Kathy.
You're welcome.
Not for 2026, but also spoke with the head bridge inspector. And they will send somebody here late spring, early summer to take a look at our bridge and give us some thoughts on things we should be doing. I don't think anyone's ever had that inspected yet, have we?
And that's, you're talking about the walking bridge, right?
Right. And the other day I walked across there and up toward the Lamoille Valley Rail Trail, and one thing we should plan for this year is get a price to replace that wood fence on the east side of it. I know we had the top of it fixed a couple years ago, but it's in pretty rough shape.
And I've been just talking about the walking trail in general. I've had several people reach out about a winter maintenance plan for our portion of it. A lot of people utilize that to walk, and they say that it's a better walking surface than a lot of the sidewalks. So they asked if we would consider some sort of winter management plan for it.
Yes, while we're talking that real quick, who's been plowing it now? Do we know?
Community
A
member.
community member does it.
Do they have a name?
I don't know who it is.
Yeah,
Kevin
the-
might know who it is.
The other day, it was end-to-end tractor tires, that's it. It was all plowed and,
I think Kevin might know who does it.
okay. It's something, Nicole, we'll take a look at for the next winter.
Thank you.
It just wouldn't be the number one priority, but once the
Yeah, no,
roads
of
are done,
course.
it's something they could do,
We got-
possibly. What's that?
We got somebody doing it.
Or work on, yeah. So it's in this discussion, we can, yeah.
I plow a couple of driveways myself just because I got time to do it, you know.
Yep, I got my-
Maybe the guy just flat out enjoys doing it.
I would think so, because he's got a mile that he's doing, yeah. All right, what else, folks, as far as 2026?
Speed enforcement, maybe? I know we were talking about potentially using the Franklin County Sheriff's Office that we never got back to about, that they never got back to us about.
Okay.
So I heard a lot when I was out campaigning, especially on our end of town, about nobody sees cops out that way and speed and stuff.
Okay,
Do we still have stormwater permit issues with Country Club Estates and Robin Hood
Yes.
Drive? So
Yeah.
that's something that I think
That's
we should
still ongoing.
pay attention to as well.
3-acre rule. Yep.
Is there an update on the RFP for the townwide reappraisal?
Yeah, the deadline was Friday. They received one, they gave it to David, he opened it Monday morning. And it was a thanks, but no thanks, they're not interested. So in essence, we had no reply. So he's gonna check with the state, what are we gonna do now? So actually by the numbers, and this part I don't understand, but by the numbers, we are not in need of a reappraisal. He mentioned that the other day because of the ratio, we're okay, but still,
It's better than it was last year.
apparently.
But we're way under, because how come Swanton's tax rate was going up more than the other two towns in the Union District?
That's not my,
What?
that's not my calculation.
Oh, what, well, I thought in the
The
paper.
school rate,
Yeah, the school
That-
rate is
that-
on-
that's-
The school rate.
right, they calculate that themselves based on how much our budget is for Swanton, how much is for Highgate, and how much is for Franklin. They do that calculation.
Yeah, I know, I
That'd be a
understand
question
that,
to
but,
them.
but it was up. It doesn't have anything to do with that CLA level?
No, that all has to do with the budget and the cost per student and their expenses.
And then the actual formula used, and I'm serious when I say this, there's probably only 2 people in the state that know how to do that.
Yeah, I'm sure. That's very complicated, I understand that.
Yeah, that, and I think the other, and just overhearing the conversation with the listers is the state, PBR people, keep in this Vermont pie, and the systems they're using are just making it
Yeah.
more and more complicated and changes, and they don't know if they're coming or going, so I don't know what to
But
think.
it's, that rate comes from what, it's like when we do our budgets, we come up with a percentage
Yeah.
for the same thing, and that's, we use that calculation against our grand list, and that's how we come up with.
But you get penalized if your CLA level is below.
But David did say that, you know.
Or we're all right this year
we're
again.
all right, yeah.
We're
And
okay, but
they do the CO, what's the other one? The
Yeah, there's two.
CLA and the COI or C.
Yeah.
And now they're taking both those rates and putting them together and coming up with another rate.
Yeah.
Before they used to use just the CLA. Is it the COL?
COL, I thought.
COL. So
Right.
they've done a whole nother calculation that, well, actually I bumped our overall rate up a little bit this year. We were lower last year than we were this year.
so no responses. I mean, one response, but no thank you.
Right.
And our numbers may be a little better, but wasn't part of what we were briefed is even if we get a firm, we're several years before they
Oh, yeah.
will do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be nice to get Dave in the next meeting
Okay.
and talk to us
Yeah.
about that and to talk to us about the appraisal that needs to be done to do the, in payment in lieu of taxes.
Oh, I got that.
You've got it now?
Yeah, I got that, and so it's gonna get submitted. And
Okay, I didn't realize he'd completed that. Last I thought we were waiting for it, so that's good news.
Did the bid we put, request for proposals, did we put a time frame on that? We were expecting it done.
Yes, there was.
Yeah, and I sent it to all 14 on the list.
So that's probably why we didn't get nobody back, because they.
No,
they
not
knew-
a time of when they had to do it.
Oh, okay.
They had, in the RFP, they had to say when they could do it. They had a time of when they had to get it back here. No,
They just had a time to submit back
Yeah.
to us, but not
Not what-
Not to
a
complete the
completion date.
project.
no, it was when they could do it, they would put it in there.
Yeah, that's,
So obviously they got more work than they can do.
Well, there's so many towns.
There's so many
that-
towns that
They're
do.
in the process now,
And
and from what I hear from a couple of the assessors, that one of them that comes in here, Zachary Fraser, said he did it for St. Albans City and I think maybe up in Memorial somewhere, and he said when he finished those projects, he would not do it again. He said people were not nice, he feared for his life, he said it was the worst job he's had, and he would never consider doing it again.
Well, I feel
It's
like
done.
it's gonna be a big thing for the community to absorb, so having as much information about it as possible and getting it out there is gonna be really important.
Yeah, because
To
the
be
time frame's
successful.
been so long, I mean, there's gonna be some people are gonna see some major changes for sure. And yeah, they're gonna be mad, they always were, I don't care when you do an appraisal.
yeah, there's gonna be winners and losers when it comes to reappraisals and.
Right, and the thought on that too is that you're raising your grand list. So in essence, by raising the grand list higher, your actual tax rate goes down.
Right.
But your tax
But
bill
eventually it
doesn't.
catches up.
By house, depending on how current all that
Right,
information is, you could see,
oh yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Really, the budgets have more effect on
Yeah.
what you pay for taxes than
Right.
the appraisal, but I mean, that's just something the state requires. I don't know, I mean, if we can't get them to do it,
Well, the state's gonna have to address that, I think.
Right, because we're not the only one.
yeah.
That would be something to ask him to talk to the folks at the state, because
Yeah, PBR.
we did our due diligence and got an RFP out, so
Well, maybe addressing a letter to the property evaluation division or whatever, whoever's responsible for this, you know, from the select board saying, hey, look, we're trying to get somebody, we can't get somebody, so, you know, can you help us out? You know, even could come from the board and the listers.
Anything else,
It almost
folks?
appears the training they're getting, they're almost trying to change them into assessors.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's quite
The
evident.
training that they're having, they're trying to make the listers assessors, the education they're giving them and requiring them to do, and they get certificates, and I think they're trying to turn
They were all fired up about it.
the listers into assessors.
Yeah,
That's
that
what they're-
makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah, I think that's what they're trying to do,
And then
because
they
they
can
know.
keep up with it on a yearly basis.
Yeah, well, they do now, but to do the whole, every house individually, I think. Sounds like the training they're getting, the state's moving in that way, because they know they can't get anybody to do it, so. Because they've been talking about the training they've been having, and it's been pretty much, trying to get them to learn to be an assessor.
Yeah, I think the state probably wants
Education.
everyone to have, you know, the certificate, so they can say it's all.
Yeah, you're certified.
It's all good,
Yeah.
it's certified. Anything else for 2026?
Something we've talked about for a couple of years is just making a more formalization of how we accept appropriations. Is that something we want to look at again this year? Putting something out or before budget season or not?
Accepting appropriations,
Like for our budget. Like
what's that?
Friends of Northern Lake Champlain.
Oh.
Our little, I shouldn't say little, the appropriations we have in our budget
Yeah.
for the different organizations.
Yeah, I think we should draft up a formal little, it shouldn't be very many paragraphs, but
It's something
every so many years or something, or, you know, or an increase, yeah, we should get some type of paper from them and stuff, you know, I'd say like every 3 years they ought to come to us. I don't know if every year, actually, I guess every year we ought to get a letter asking for the
Well,
money.
they do give us a
Okay.
letter, we have them in a folder.
Right.
And we typically bring them up if they want an increase, otherwise, I have them in a folder, Brian gets them, I get them.
Well, we talked about getting, having them at least come and discuss what they're doing too, because I know this year there was a lot of questions on who and what they were doing, more than just a letter. Just reviewing my notes from last year.
Yeah.
And then the only other thing I have.
While you're talking that, do we want to bring it up, does anyone want to draft something up, or do we want to just make it a meeting discussion item of some of the criteria and then draft up a little policy?
Well, it's gonna take a lot of time. How many of them appropriations we got in there? We got a lot of them, right?
Let's say 15 to 20, yeah.
So you're gonna bring them all in here. That's gonna take some time. Maybe, when they send their requests, they also send, what.
They do,
What they-
I guess I
Maybe-
can give it all to you.
Yeah,
email it to
maybe
you,
that would be
because,
a good start.
Like they send us letters and
Saying what they do.
what they do
Yeah.
with the money, and
Yeah.
it's,
And then we could look at
So-
them, and then if we had a certain group we wanted that had questions, then we could ask them to come in. Cause some of this stuff is probably gonna, it's gonna be obvious when we read it, some of it we might have questions
I
about.
mean, like the food shelf.
So you could send them copies of the letters you got for this year,
Yeah,
just scan them.
And then maybe that will be good for a meeting discussion on if we want to make a formalized policy on how we accept appropriations. Again, just trying to get out ahead of it before budget season rolls around and we're getting those things in.
Yeah, I could see, maybe every 3 years, 'cause now you knock it down to just 6, and then you could have 3 come to one meeting, 3 come to another, then in 5-10 minutes would probably be all the time that they needed to speak.
Well, I mean, with the option of doing things digitally, 5 minutes of popping on a meeting,
Oh,
I
yeah.
think is not
Yeah.
too much to ask for.
You don't necessarily have to physically come here, right?
Yeah.
So we can gin up some stuff, pretty easy, I think. What else?
The only other thing I have on my list is emails, because I'm assuming Mr. Underwood's gonna get a nice new email with his name.
Yeah.
I
And
don't know how to use it, but I got it.
I'll help you. When we get it set up, I'll help you.
And I hate to do this to Earl, and he doesn't have to do it if he wants to, but I'm still SW/SLB 55.
Yeah,
I-
me too.
Is there consideration to getting one that's,
So
we can
Peter-
archive everything and start
Peter's
new?
coming on Monday. I've asked him to come spend some time with me. We're gonna set up Ron's email. Show me because I keep setting them up and every time I do it different and it works.
Can it be set up or
So-
it's just Earl?
Well, that's what I'm gonna ask.
Swanton
We're gonna set up
Selectboard,
Ron's. We're gonna
SLB.
archive all of the old ones that you're paying for that you don't need to.
Yeah,
He'll download them to the server. They'll be password protected, so you have them if you have a records request. And then we'll see either we'll create you new ones and archive those ones, or can we change the name on them? I don't know the best way to do that.
because
But then
mine,
we can get rid of all those older ones that you're paying for.
one of the big concerns I got is, it's hard for people, somebody asked me, well, oh, can I email to you? And I said, well, Jesus,
Yeah.
I mean, oh my God. I mean,
It's
it's
like email
ridiculous.
Nicole, she'll forward
It's-
it
it's
to you.
ridiculous.
You two are the only two left.
Correct.
Okay,
You
that's what I
know.
thought.
Now, the other thing that we've talked about, and we were gonna wait till after.
That, Bill said to hold off on that.
Oh,
for
to
the
hold
job
off. The dot
Yeah.
yeah,
He's not
he's not
made
having,
much progress with that yet.
the .gov, our website is
He's
the
got
.gov,
so your
Yeah.
emails should.
and it's stringent security.
Yeah.
So they have emails that are .gov, which would be stringent security, so that when somebody sees that, it's secure and they know, well, this is legitimate, this is coming from Earl Fournier, Nicole Draper .gov, and Swanton .gov, well, okay. We would have this, would be, ideally, if it can be done, would be, the town and the village would have the same email address, so it would be wsheets@swantonvt.gov and Nicole Draper at the same thing. The likelihood of but I'm not sure how the servers would work on that.
Well,
That's
and
where we
the
get-
trustees and the select board would wanna have to decide, do you wanna
Right.
be Swanton, Vermont still, or do you wanna be Swanton VT? Cause they're Swanton VT and you're Swanton, Vermont, so,
And a lot of
but there's a
people,
lot of work.
yeah,
Right about that.
there's a lot of stuff to be
We're not
covered
ready
there,
for
so
that.
it's not ready yet, but
Let's
that's
just get you
what
a
we're
word.
gonna try
Yeah,
to
I'm just
work on.
interested in using my name. I don't care about the dot word.
I'll
or
work
gov.
on
I just-
that.
Yeah, because,
Just give you a name.
you know, it's gonna make it easier for
Yes.
people to get
Yeah.
information to us.
Mhm.
And that should be critical, should be a priority.
Well, that and the email address that I have has years of selectmen
Yes.
prior, and I feel like
Yeah.
that needs to be
Well, yeah,
archived.
that is, yeah.
Well, I gotta hit the
So
road.
Peter,
And
did he,
Oh, yeah, give it a go.
so Peter was in today? Did
He
you
was
get-
in, he's coming back to see
Coming
you
Monday.
Monday at 9,
All right.
between 9 and 10, he said to text him when you're Monday.
I know.
He's a bad boyfriend, he doesn't show up.
That's what I tell him to.
He's a real bad boyfriend.
Yeah.
Tell him to speak slowly.
He'll take no.
I think he was.
but
Alright, so are we, anything else?
we need to review personnel policies and ordinances is a good thing, I think.
What about
We
it?
have a
You
schedule.
have a schedule.
Oh, we have a
everybody.
schedule.
You
We
have
put a
new one.
schedule so that it has,
So here's your 2026.
Yeah,
she
So
just,
on the back side of your table
oh, she just
planner,
gave a.
it's 26.
uh,
Keep it all together, you're gonna mess it all up.
Yes, ma'am.
And then 27 is behind it, and then I'll start 28 after. So you
The
have
idea
to
was
say-
we're not gonna do each
I didn't get that right.
policy once a year, over the course of a couple of years, we'll just review them all.
I didn't know, I didn't give you that.
Some of the tougher ones over the last 2 years,
Geez, so many.
that's got finalized, some of the others are pretty straightforward, most people don't look at them and say, okay. But we'll have them, my preference is gonna be the second meeting of the month, so
We'll add it to the
we'll
agenda.
add it to the agenda for the second meeting of the month, and those policies should all be in that binder now, if everyone's current. And right here, the one
These are
thing I would ask on this, and don't have to do it right off, there's other priorities right now, is put the date. So the winter maintenance policy,
Oh, on the last.
the
last date.
the date, the date of the current policy, that way, if I go in my binder, and for some reason, I didn't make the change that you gave, like this stack right here, then I would know
Last,
by the time I get home when it all
and I
comes
put a
apart.
date on your table of contents, cause I was getting
Yeah.
confused, I had too many of them.
Right, but if we did that for those, then we would know.
I would
what-
do that.
Perfect.
It might end up being 2 pages, cause I keep making it smaller, so it'll be okay.
All right,
It'll be okay.
next item was a discussion on website development by EcoPixel.
I included the email that Tina received from them.
Earl called one day last week and wanted an update. He said him and Nicole were not having luck with calls, so we called him and emailed him and he sent his reply. Thus far, we've not seen anything, but
Is that part of the package?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the second to last
I think
page.
I ripped it off.
And I did see them posting of a web developer last week, so that's why I assumed I hadn't heard anything, but we're still waiting for them to do the updates that we originally requested back in October,
Kathy's been waiting for a bill since December.
which is,
Yeah, he's not. He's gotta be really behind on a lot.
He said he was way behind and he hired this girl, she's been on probably, he said about a month. And she would be contacting it, he's gone over everything with her. And he said she should be calling us this week. Yeah. And said she's been in the business for quite some time, so he's very confident she's gonna be able to do what is needed.
Okay.
So this was February 26th.
So this
So
would
give him 2 weeks maybe and then
Cause it would be this week, this would be
Ask
the
him
week
again.
he's calling, cause
again.
it's the 26th.
Yeah, makes sense to me. We paying, well, I guess we aren't even
You
paying if they're not
pay,
billing us, but
Yeah.
if we need a vendor that's responsive or we start looking elsewhere, I
I think
mean.
he billed you for all of last year. No,
So how's he, and he billed us for last year's work?
no.
That's not good. Good for us, but if we're not
It'll
getting
catch
up
up
to date, then we're
eventually.
not getting done what we're trying to accomplish.
Well, he made the comment that he did the stuff up to
He
October.
did some of
He said
it.
did some of it.
yeah, but he's supposed to put our new brand logo
The
on the webpage, the
coloring.
Was that
coloring,
after
brand,
October?
yeah.
Yeah.
It was all in the
that's-
contract, cause I sent Earl the contract.
Okay,
that's fine.
anything else on that? We were gonna collect capital planning inputs, it says for 2026, but it was just capital projects for the next 10, 15 years. I started something I shared with the board a while ago, and I will update that with other things that the board may have or not for capital work, but, you got thoughts on things we want or when?
I mean, it's something that I think that we should continue to make a priority, especially with the local option tax money coming in for capital investments and repairs. You know, the Depot Museum seems to be something that needs to be looked at a little bit more frequently than it has been, in my opinion. And we know we've started to make repairs, but them thinking, you know, 5 to 10 years from now in that building. All of the repairs we made to the library, hopefully we're not going to have to make many more,
Oh, yeah, we will.
but older buildings mean lots of maintenance.
Yeah, it's you know, it's maintenance, and part of what I put in those things like replace boilers at town garage. If they last 20 years, that would be 2033. But at some point, they're gonna need to be repaired, so that should be on the list. And replace the roof at the museum. Put that down as 2034 because of when we replaced the roof down there at the Railroad Museum. This roof out here needs to be painted. Yeah, there's lots of items we can list and get some type of, you know, planned year to have that done. I would like to, with the local option taxes, I think we should come up with a very short, doesn't need to be very long, policy on the local option tax and how we're just gonna show it for accounting purposes. We already state what the purpose is for. We can reiterate that, but then how we're gonna account for it cause that's for capital repairs, capital improvements, but we also have the other capital improvement, you know, and I don't think we really should intertwine them.
We'll just
But that-
create a new fund for it.
Create a new fund, and then another discussion, I think, for the next meeting in March is we have a update on special funds, because I think there's a line item in there that we talked about. It's pretty much the balance, but we said a fair amount of that we thought was going to capital repairs, capital improvements. And I think the board should commit to that. And, you know, after we take a look at all those other line items that special funds, we were gonna, you know, the items we're tracking right now.
Now, I'm sure you and Earl have these, but I think Ron and Nick should have, you haven't seen this before, have
I
you?
don't think so, no.
Yeah, that was just a quick draft I threw out there, but yeah, I got it electronically. That's where I got this info today.
And then I'm just playing around with some things, you know, trying to make it a little bit more, I should have printed out something for everybody, but I can send it to you all electronically. Just kind of, you know, what 5 years, what it looks like, you know, are we looking at getting a truck in the next 5 years? We are looking at the community center, replacements here. Are there any other culverts that we should be planning for besides the ones that we already have on our list? The bridge, the depot.
Yep.
This hasn't been brought to my attention by the library board, but every time I drive in their parking lot, I just feel like that needs to be taken a look at some point.
Okay, which part?
The library, the one,
No, but which part of the park?
Because part of that belongs to the church.
part of it belongs to the,
Yeah.
Most of it belongs
Most
to
of
the
it belongs
church.
to the church.
most of it belongs to the church?
Yep.
Okay.
And it's a very convoluted lease agreement with the town and the village and the church, so, yeah.
Okay. So,
But
Not on it.
what we should do is dig that out, take a look at it. I mean, the primary use, majority use is for the library, right? I mean, I know the church
Well,
uses
yeah.
it, but the
Yeah,
membership's
library.
very low. and-
The library and other municipal parking, yeah,
Right,
yeah.
so we should take a look and decide at the board if we wanna do something there or not. Some of that would be done through agreements and modifying an agreement, because church, I don't think it's gonna have tons of money to,
No, I
To do
don't,
very much.
I wouldn't think so.
no.
So with culverts, do we inspect them? Do we have a list of when they're installed?
There was a list years ago, I haven't seen it lately, most of the what's that?
They did an inventory, remember the,
Back probably 10, 12 years
was
ago.
it that long ago?
Yeah, it was quite a
Oh my
while.
gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. I know that lady from the state, right, came around and did an inventory with, I don't say Bob, but with Rob, Jesus. Kevin, didn't they drive around to Bob?
Yeah, most of the smaller ones, they just keep an eye on them, and we do have a line item in the budget, and we replace them as needed. The good news is those are getting replaced with the polyethylene, so
Yeah.
they're gonna last for quite a while,
Just
but
with the changing weather, where we're getting heavier storms, I'm wondering if every 5 years or so they should be inspected. Even if somebody's sticking their head in there going, yep, it looks good.
yeah, I'll talk with Kevin, they check them pretty frequently, they're up today thawing out one that was back in the, yeah.
My thought is just to have, you know, a concrete list of things, because I'm sure someday Kevin's gonna retire, and I'm sure someday you're gonna step away from the board, but just having that general list or asset for the continuing members of the select board to have as a resource.
I'm sure Kevin can tell you every year all these culverts were put in.
Yeah, I don't, yeah, anyway, yes, it's a good point. The key in making a list is updating it. We had a list a few years ago of the roads and when they were paved and stuff. And that hasn't been updated in a while. You know, it gets into, is it used enough? But we can discuss that as part of this whole, you can reinvigorate that spreadsheet and decide for the roads if we wanna do it or not. We can pull out the last 6, 7, 8 years of paving and update the spreadsheet.
things I had on there. I mean, besides the two stormwater permits, I know, is there any other permits that we carry? Is that something that we have to think about as far as capital investments?
Most of the permits are inspections and some minor maintenance of the ponded areas. When we walked the road up the other day up there, Jerry Mill Lane, there's a little pond where the sediment needs to be cleaned out every so often. Most of that can be done with in-house forces, but they can be pulled out and take a look at them.
Other things are, I think the website is an investment for the community. I don't know if you consider it capital, but I don't know if there's any other software here that I would think is an asset to the town. The GIS, the NEMRIX, which is something I love so much. Other software that we have to buy, things of investment, anything that we should be looking at, anything that you folks are using that need to be updated or you think that we need to have an updated process on.
We're gonna get a new printer.
I'm excited for you on that one.
I have a love-hate relationship with that printer. There's a lot more hate than love.
But we talk about servers as we continue to grow. Do we look at 5 years, do we want to start planning now for having a bigger server in 5 years?
You can
We
ask
do
Peter.
that, we do that now. I do that with Peter. That's why we have that in our expenses, because we'll have to replace our server
We
probably.
just did it.
We just did it, probably not. In 2 years, we'll have to replace the server. We keep track of that stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't consider that a capital, but certainly something that needs to be tracked, and they're
Yeah.
tracking it.
We track, and the computers, pretty much everyone is updated. We
track
just
of who's
updated
this.
our laptop because that one was like 12 years old, so it was time to, that one was way beyond it was actually dying, so we use it for the elections too. So we replaced that just before, probably like a month ago. We figured, put in the programs that we needed.
Oh, the rest of them was-
So pretty much now we've gone the rotation. We did, the listers are up to date, Brian's up to date, Amy's up to date, we got you up to date. We just replaced mine last year and Tamara's was the year before, so everyone has gotten, they have a 5-year lifespan on them, so we've gotten them pretty much in the past 3 years. Maybe you might be.
Remember Amy's being replaced.
Yeah, she's
She's
got
gonna be a
the,
little older.
no, she got replaced the same, probably just before you got here. She's got the no base.
Okay.
And those are all the new ones. No, it's all built into
All
one.
one.
Yeah, all in one.
And I guess the only other thing in regards to that is, are we gonna continue to kill trees? Or do we look at getting ourselves in the digital age?
We need him to be part of that discussion,
I
so next meeting we can.
Who's gonna teach you how to use it?
I probably will.
I'll just put it all on him.
I think if he had a device to
And it was
look at
all
and it was
done.
all in one and he just had to push buttons, I think
Like this big.
Yeah,
I can teach my
I-
father to use an iPad, we can get Earl to use one.
Yeah.
my father can figure out how to use TikTok. I'm pretty sure Earl can use.
We'll teach him.
Let's bring,
Add that.
laptops,
Are
to
you
the
looking at
next meeting.
laptops, or you're looking at
Tablets or
tablets, or you're looking at iPads, or you're looking at,
Well, that'd be the discussion, iPads, laptops. I mean, anyway, so we don't need to do that tonight, but we can make that part of the discussion next meeting and
You
see.
can get larger tablets with the keyboards that attach and detach. There's lots of options.
Yeah, I mean, I don't wanna spend much time on them, I'm very comfortable just with my laptop.
Yeah.
But everyone's got the way they do it,
Everybody-
what programs they
everybody
use, so that adds to it, cause anyway.
we're just thinking about investments for the future.
Yeah.
So that's all I have.
All right. Again, I encourage folks, if you think of stuff from the rec department that are big items, capital type stuff, library, send me a note, we'll get it all on the list. Okay, liquor control.
Oh, you've got field days.
Oh, okay.
Field days.
Let's do field days first. So really the question right now is the field days, correct me if I'm wrong, is in front of the zoning and the DRB. as far as coming up with the word that's on the email says that right now it's not a permitted activity. So they've got to come to us with a change to the zoning regs and then apply for a permit.
Which they're working on.
Right,
And,
they as in the
DRB.
DRB and Planning Commission, right?
So the planning commission has a public hearing on Tuesday, the 10th, and when that is for the changes, and included in that will be adding to the Southern Growth District conditional use for them. So then they will need to go before the DRB for conditional use for what they're gonna do.
To get those changes done, though, it
So
needs
once
2
the-
meetings here, right?
Yes, so once the planning commission passes it, it's permittable.
Yeah.
So they can go before the DRB and then you have 2 meetings to approve it.
Okay.
It'll
so-
come before you twice before it's fully in place. But, yeah, the planning commission has to pass that first.
So
They
being
go on
a
Tuesday.
conditional use, the
Yeah.
public will have the opportunity
Yes.
in front of the DRB to come in and express
Yeah,
their
that was
concerns.
one of the biggest
They'll
concerns.
get
with every
notified.
Yeah,
Public input.
we got an email, again, you wouldn't have been privy to that one where someone had a whole list of items and then we responded back that this is being worked and,
I've talked to them.
okay.
And Amy did speak to him today. She sent him a
Him?
Mr.
Okay, I just be, okay.
She
I'll make sure.
sent him a letter last week after talking to you guys and said you needed to stop and you need to call. She did speak to him on the phone today. And he knows what needs to happen.
Okay,
So I'll pass it on to
Yeah.
all my question askers.
good, yeah. Okay, you're welcome. Liquor Control Board, motion to suspend our meeting and enter the Liquor Control Board.
I will make a motion to recess our regularly scheduled meeting and enter into the liquor control board.
Here, a second.
Second.
Motion made second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor state aye.
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 Opposed? So moved.
So I have 2 licensed liquor and tobacco renewals. It's North Country Bait and Tackle, they have a 2nd-class license and they have a tobacco license, and they have had no violations. And the second one, RR Valley Inc., they have no violations. They have a 2nd-class, a tobacco, and a tobacco substitute license.
Okay. Entertain a motion to approve the license renewals as presented.
I'll make a motion to approve the renewals.
There's a second.
Second.
Motion's been made and second. Any discussion, and I'll just say, Ron, from our perspective, usually if there's no violations, we approve them and move on, but it's something the select board has to be approved at this level.
Just for information, I can guess, but what constitutes a violation?
Well, what's his name? Martin goes out, he's like, works for the Department of Liquor Control, and he'll go in, get someone to go in and like buy cigarettes, buy a tobacco substitute, buy alcohol, and if they don't card them, or if they, because they're supposed to card when they suspect, most nurses are trained to card when it's 40 or younger, but they will, if they sell to the minor, then that's a violation. And if they do ask for the identification and don't, in real life, they don't prove it, then they're doing their job. But if they just sell the tobacco or alcohol, then they get written up and they have a violation, and then I get copies of that violation.
Okay. I figured it was something like that, yeah.
And this is changing, because they used to all come due on May 15th, and now they've staggered through the year, so you will be doing these probably more often than not.
Probably helps their workload on the state end.
It does, but I
In
like
licensing
doing
them.
that.
All right,
you.
is there any further discussion? All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Motion to exit the liquor control.
I'll make a motion to exit the liquor control board and resume our regularly scheduled select board meeting.
Here, a second.
Second.
Motion made in second. Any discussion? Here none. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. All right. I think we're under any other necessary business.
All add, I just have one thing, is at the bottom of your packets, you've got this document. Just quickly, just handing it out tonight, if you can review what we have done, had to do. This is our purchasing policy, had to be replaced by the procurement policy. because of the federal grant rules have changed. And, the spending authorities are all the same, that hasn't changed. But you'll find the bulk of it is in the requirements under the federal regulations when it comes to a federal grant that starts at the bottom of page 4 in this document and continues on to the rest of the document. It's quite extensive. These rules came into play and VLCT released them the end of December. So we got audited. It wasn't an audit, it was a review by Department of Public Safety on the 366 North River Street property. And they picked up that we didn't have this policy, so we now have the policy. We'll be all right as long as they're adopted by the next meeting, but just review them if you got any questions. It's what you gotta deal with.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in those federal regulations that apply to the Lamoille Valley Rail Trail, the Buy America Act, and that can get really difficult. Compliant with that.
And if you're buying anything, you're supposed to check the surplus properties first to see if they've got something you can get cheaper. Yeah. It's,
Okay, thank you.
that'll be on the agenda for next month.
All right, under correspondence,
Yep, I included an email that they received from, just a little document there. He's looking for an executive session request to talk about the results of the investigation personnel, official government changes and future of NBR. So they wanted to know if it should be as a tri-board meeting or individually, so we're just, we're discussing.
yeah, Brian sent that email to me. I said we'd talk about it tonight. Couple of my thoughts is I don't see a reason that this needs to be done in an executive session. It's not gonna disadvantage anybody. If they feel there's something that they can't talk to us openly, then they can tell us that. They're trying to follow up with us on things they've done. They sent us the email. You may not have seen it yet. So we need to forward the email to Ron of steps they've taken since their first meetings with us, different policies that they've written, what they're doing with their board, etc. We really don't need to get into their personnel issues. Because they're a private entity, we can talk to them about things that we have concerns with and providing services to our folks. And I think most of that can be done in the public. If people think it needs to go into executive session, we could talk about it some more. And I don't think we need to do a tri-board at this stage, but again, looking input from you folks on what we want to do. One thing. We will talk in executive session tonight about contracts, and part of it is with the MBR and kind of a lack of contract, but there's a couple of things I want to talk to you about. But as far as them coming and talk to us, I think we could do it in the open, but I leave that up to everybody's thoughts.
I think speaking in the open creates a level of transparency that people are looking for.
Yeah, I do too. I think that if there was something we were gonna talk and negotiate with them on the contract specific that would put AmCare or some other agency at a disadvantage, then we would be in executive session. But just to talk about the services being provided right now, I don't think it needs to go to executive session. From a town administrator standpoint, your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't see in their request for executive session, for us, I don't see where that would qualify. We could defend it going into executive session. And then again, when we get into contracts, if there is a disadvantage to another agency or something, well, then yes, maybe, but not for this request. I don't see where that qualifies.
Right. And worst case, that night, if we needed to, we could
could.
make that decision and go in executive session at that point, but I think going back to them and say, come talk to us, but talk to us in the open. They kind of came to talk to us in the open,
Yeah, they did, the last meeting.
yeah, last time, so.
So,
Everyone good with that?
Yeah, I agree with Nicole, it's more transparent for the public if we're on the open with it.
so I will answer him tomorrow that we discussed this and it would be an open meeting just with our board.
Maybe jointly with the village.
We're the ones, in answering that, my take is we're the ones who are responsible for providing the services. The village is involved because they rent space to MVR, but really the providing of medical services right now is our responsibility.
We can invite the village to come to a meeting if they think they need to.
Yeah, we could offer it up to them, I just, yeah,
We're not gonna say, no, you can't come.
Right.
It's an open meeting, but we can offer it to them if they want
we
to
could
come.
make them aware of it, I guess, if they want to come, they can warn it. But right now, we won't do it as a joint,
Right, that's right.
as a joint meeting.
That makes sense.
Okay. All right, let me find my old piece of paper here. Public comments. We don't have anybody on TV, we don't have anybody in the crowd. What's that?
Mr. Nielsen.
Maybe we should check on Mr. Nielsen to make sure he's okay.
He's not here today.
No,
But it's Wednesdays.
Oh,
She's
that's
different
right,
day.
different day.
yeah, I saw him last,
Seen him yesterday.
I saw him last Thursday. All right, upcoming events.
Sunday, March 8th, 2026 at 2 a.m. Spring ahead, daylight savings times begins. Tuesday, March 10th, 2026 at 6 p.m. will be a planning commission public hearing on zoning bylaw amendments here at the town offices. Tuesday, March 17th, 2026 at 6 p.m. will be a regular select board meeting here at the town offices. Thursday, March 26th, 2026 at 6 p.m. will be a DRB meeting here at the town offices.
All right. Executive session,
Before we go into that, just, can we continue to add to the agenda things that we might want to add for the next meeting?
that should be on every one of these. Yes.
I don't see it here, and I don't have
No,
anything
no.
to add, but I just wanted to make sure that.
Yeah.
That's why I talked with Christina, is that schedule right here, is
Yeah.
taking a look at that and making sure we're, and then we can always add to the schedule too, as board members, it's like, okay, this is what we need to do in May. And then, yes, the agenda, so we do it right here at the meeting if people have something, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else? So executive session, discuss contract for emergency services and then personnel.
I move that we find that we enter executive session for the select board to receive confidential contract and personnel information for which the premature disclosure of it to the general public would clearly place the select board and others at a substantial disadvantage.
There's a second.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
I move that based on our just made findings that the premature disclosure would place the select board and others at a substantial disadvantage, we now enter executive session.
There's a second.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. All those in favor state aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.